And I'm nearing getting myself a new CPU and motherboard, but oh, I'm caught between the CPU now because the new Intels are coming out next month, and apparently they trounce any AMD. And you're going to need a motherboard. I'm getting a new motherboard anyway, hopefully, but definitely need. It's got a different socket to the ones that are out now. But then you've got the silicon shortage at the moment, and so prices are going to go up, and there's going to be shortages of everything. So I'm caught between, do I wait and see how much it is when it comes out, and whether I can grab myself the new 12 series Intels with that kind of performance, or do I just bite the bullet and get 11? First world problems.
See, my advice there would be, quote unquote, so close to the end of the year, with only, what, 3 months. I'd say probably wait until after New Year's, so that way the Christmas rush settles down, stock issues get sorted out, and you'd be hanging back for it, but at least then you have more of an informed decision before people go, yeah, these new Intel chips are fast, but they keep blowing up, or whatever.
The Messi is stuck. That's gone off the line of the old, whatchamacallit. Yeah, well, they're supposed to, oh, he's sorted himself out. It's supposed to come out sometime in October, so whether or not the price will be, there is rumours of the price, that is off-centre, isn't it? Hopefully it still picks it up. Will be roughly around the same as the 10 series when they came out. We'll have to wait and see. But like I said, there's the big silicon shortage at the moment. Factories have been shut down. AMD, Intel shut down some of their factories and stuff like that. So what graphics? I thought you got a new graphics card, mate. Or was it just the motherboard and stuff? And why the graphic cards don't have a bottleneck? Graphic cards either get limited by a bottleneck by the motherboard or run at full pace, which is not good enough because it's an old card. So. Oh, the power supply is also. It's only a. What do you mean it's only a 1080? That's still blooming good.
Yeah, I was like, only. I was running a 1060. But there'll be I'm only running 1080p on the primary monitor, and have the secondary just running two-dimensional stuff.
To be honest, Freddie, between my 3070 Ti, waste of money that was, and my old 1070, there's not much of a difference, except for the DLSS. Of course, that's a huge difference. Ray tracing, bleh, it's going to be it's the DLSS or whatever it's called. That's really been the thing. What do you mean? Your 2080 is probably just as good as, maybe even better than what I've got. Mind you, it's a laptop though, but that's still a damn good card. Yeah, so you're better off getting an AMD video card, because I got the things that works with the chips to make them run better. The AMD chips. I mean, at the moment my bottleneck is apparently voltage reliability, which is a load of crap because I've got a 1000 watt power supply. But my other bottleneck will be the fact that I'm on PCI 3, which I'm trying to rectify, because the new Intels that come out have PCI 5. So there'll be new video cards coming out with PCI 5 rather soon too. So that's computers, isn't it? You always miss out. It's absolute sheer luck to get the right thing at the right time. Otherwise you get something that's brand new and then 3 months later you find out something new's coming out. I don't like the fact that that's off, going off even further. It should be the same width. It could be just me though. So yeah, I'm not really sure. Well, what's your... I thought you had really good speed there, dude. Like, really good speed. $720 watt download. It's your upload you really want. But still... 720 is quite good.
So if it's megabit, then yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I mean, I'm 950. Yeah, I know it's only 720p when you're doing it at 4,500. But what's your internet connection? What's your upload speed? Because it might not be your internet connection. Because I thought you had really good upload and download speeds with the internet. My upload speed, even when I was doing it, when I had a 120 upload, 100 down, 20 up, I was still okay doing 1080 on most games. My actual issue, the reason why I had to go to 720 is because a graphics card was struggling with some of the games, and then I changed to the other and the processor. But because I was actually playing the games in 4K, and then OBS had to downscale it to 1080p. So now I play all my games in that 1080p. But most people I know, even with 100 megabyte down and 20 megabyte up, still can do 6,000. It might be just a setting in OBS you need to adjust or something. You use Streamlabs, don't you? $21. Should still be alright. Turn some of your game settings down for the graphics or something. Because even if you can knock it up to 5,000 is 10 when it will go into 1080. It won't be crystal clear actually. It'll still be 1080, but not as crystal as 6,000 obviously. Yeah, I reckon you should be fine. There shouldn't be an issue. I'm definitely sure it's the internet and not the PC just struggling to do the whole lot. Because you record it at the same time, don't you? Because that's asking a lot out of your graphics card and the CPU to stream and record it. Or have you stopped doing that? I mean, if you want to, it's totally up to you, but we can get it at some stage. Yeah, max out. But is it set to that? What have you actually set it to? I mean, like I said, if you want to, we could get together at some stage over in Discord and do some screen sharing and have a look. Was? Oh, maybe I didn't. I definitely didn't turn the mower on, did I? Start off with that. And we can have a look if you want. Try and sort it out. We can do a test. You know about the, I'm sure you know about the Twitch test stream thing, eh? Where you can do a test, go live without actually going live. But it takes a record of all your bit rates and everything else. How much more of this field have I got to go? Yeah, if you want to do that. Yeah, I'll see that. Maybe. Range dropping? The frames dropping is... Drop frames... Which one's which? Because one of them means that your card and you can't your computer's not processing it quick enough to stream. It's struggling to process it. There's drop frames and then there's the other one, skip frames. Now skip frames I want, yeah, it's either skip frames or drop frames. Can't remember offhand which one's which now. I think skip frames is the internet connection between Twitch. And drop frames is the one where it's only your PC can't handle the coding. Funny, I can't remember which one's which.
My contracts are out of sync again. I think still tends to totalising.
Oh,
inactive.
Really?
So it's a destination for this lot.
Kettle. Trader, I believe.
Yep, I know.
Hopefully it accepts it. Hopefully. I need to go and make coffee soon. Actually, I might as well just put course plate back on so I can go off and make myself a coffee. See if it adjusts itself. It does. Just look at that. I've got to reset the GPS when I come back. Do hope the baler can pick all that up. Yeah, I was thinking of doing the same thing, mate. Going to just normal OBS. I've got it there. You don't have to... No, you can import into OBS from Streamlabs. that's what I did. I got everything imported, pretty much, except for my filters. So all your layouts and overlays and your scenes and that, you can import them into OBS and vice versa. So it's not much of an issue. It's just the layout's totally different, that's all. Right. While Courseplay is doing its thing, I got a worker in to relieve me for a lunch, so I'm going to go off and make myself a coffee. As the head turns up. And I'll be right back. And I'll leave you with Patrio, and maybe Patrio can explain after the ads are done that I'm off making my coffee. I'll be back in a second.
Well, something weird's going on with my resolution there. Or at least his output resolution might be off, because I should be doing a 16:9 1080. That's all good, Feedy. I got 2 cheats in the place. The first cheat is the fact that the bales aren't unloaded onto the trailer, so the trailer is technically weightless at the moment. And the second factor is speed limitations. Although I could try and get cinematic.
Hello, I'm back. Do you want to come and join us in voice feeding? You can if you want to. I need to put on your intermissions when I chuck to your screen because I can only do wide.
Well, that's the thing, because I'm only running 1080p regular 16:9, so it seems squished to me.
Yeah, it does. I might. It's a bit of a pain to try and move it. Your mum said no, Feedy. Yeah, it's to actually bring it out. The picture's quite away from the outer box, so I don't know because it's almost at the bottom of my thing on the OBS. So I don't know if I can drag it down further. I could actually put in the times and stuff, but maybe I was just thinking up the top I could put in the text box Big Brother's watching Patrio.
Yeah, they're just one of those generic news overlays. Breaking news, we're currently in pursuit of an errant player. Otherwise, the good news is the only dealer does take the bales. The bad news is that yard is a bit fickle to get in and out of.
Yeah, I know, it's tight, eh? It's the reason why I don't think I put a drive. I was going to go through it to get out of the field next to it, go round in a circle. Because there's two fields just so they could, why isn't the... There we go. There. Fair enough, Eddie. You're always welcome, mate. I keep forgetting to ask you when you come in. But, yeah, I gather it was American football. Actually, no, I wasn't actually, to be honest, because I know you like your European stuff. You might have even adopted the language. Oh, plot twist, Mike. Jaws didn't get killed at the end of the movie. Still out there. Attacking tugboats.
Well, see, my response to that is exactly the same as the movie. Gonna need a bigger boat.
Well, don't stick with soccer. That's what I call it. That's what most people call it. Down the southern hemisphere, mainly. Australia, New Zealand. That's what it's called. The Australian national team is the Socceroos. Not the soccer. No, I won't say that.
What, soccer lose? Yeah. That's sports ball. I don't care about it.
Not the football roos.
Well, I suppose the difference there is you could say, because I mean, obviously we call American football gridiron, or at least I do. You could say, oh yeah, well, you got soccer, which is obvious. Football being American football, and then footy being AFL.
And rugby as well. And league, to be honest, because we call... when I used to play league, we called it footy. And people who played rugby called it footy. So...
I suppose it's funny, we never call it cricky.
Yeah. But, yes. Cricket. Probably because it's against the laws, because cricket doesn't have rules, it has laws.
Although, to be fair, the person standing behind the stunts, we do call him the wiki.
Too close to crikey. I'm going off for a round of crikey.
Yeah, no, have a crack at it, eh?
Oh, yeah. I know, yeah, soccer is played with the feet, is the thing, isn't it? But Rugby, I suppose, sort of makes sense because the full term is Rugby Football Union or Rugby Football League. It depends on the two codes because there's two different codes. Union, which most of you are familiar with, is rugby, and then there's the other code, which is Rugby League. Rugby Union, Rugby League, but the official titles are Rugby Football Union, Rugby Football League, and you do kick the ball. Rugby more so than rugby. Well, actually, pretty much the same, really. Maybe the other way around, because league you've got to kick it really on the fifth tackle, which would be like the fifth down or something like that in American football, something like that. Like being tackled 5 times, and then you've got to get rid of the ball, kick it down the field, so the other team have got further to go to try and get a touchdown. I'll put it to American terms because I know some of you will be like that.
I'm sure you can use the native terms. Give it a try.
For those that don't know, a touchdown on rugby is called a try, which is ironic because obviously in American football, when you have a touchdown, you don't put the ball on the ground to get your points. Where in rugby and rugby league, you've actually got to put the ball on the ground. So yeah, but you do, after 5 tackles in rugby league, you kick the ball. Otherwise, if you get tackled a 6th time, the team gets the ball right where they tackled you. Rugby union kicking is more tactical. For possession, it's more it's the difference between the two games is pretty much like chess and checkers, really. Where chess is obviously a more tactical and strategic game, and checkers is, and that's pretty much the same between rugby league and rugby union. Rugby is more physical than American football. Well,
I'd say yes on the basis that you're not running around, with half a chest worth of body armor, looking like a Doom guy with a helmet on.
Yeah, saying that you go full tit with running into someone in American football because you think you're protected. Admittedly, you do that. I mean, in rugby league, you were taught, and you are taught in rugby to, when you've got the ball, run as hard and fast as you can, because the faster and harder you run, the harder it is to be tackled. But then again, when you're defending, you're told to run, because run into them as fast as possible and get to them as quick as possible, because the quicker you get to them, the less room they have to build up steam, basically, and get to full pace. And when I played rugby league, you did your utmost damnedest to try and do as much damage to the opposition as you could when you tackled them. So, but as physical, I think maybe it's always been that argument, which is, the harder tackles and stuff, who tackles harder, and it's a hard one to go by. But one of the reasons is because the difference with the American football and rugby league is that American football, when you get tackled, you guys got to have a powwow for about half an hour to decide what you're going to do next. And then obviously you also got your defensive players, and when you go into defence, they come off and your defensive players come on, where in rugby and rugby league, rugby itself is pretty much non-stop for 40 minutes with the same players on the field, and they only sort of get replaced. You're allowed 7 replacements, and they're generally replaced in the second half. So you have one half of 40 minutes where it's non-stop rugby playing. Of course, as you continue playing like that, you tire, so the tackles get a little bit impacted, I suppose. And then you have a 5 to 10 minute half-time break, and then go and run around for another 40 minutes non-stop. Rugby league, on the other hand, it's pretty much the same, except for when they get tackled, it's not contested like in rugby league. But you do get up straight away and what's called play the ball, which is put the ball on the ground and kick it back with your foot, and it carries on. It's a lot more fast-paced than rugby union is, but the same thing. 13 players on there playing full 40 minutes before having a break, and then coming back and playing another 40 minutes. But rugby league does have interchange. That means that they have about 5 reserves, substitutes, but they can come on play for 10 minutes and come off. But yeah, the difference is I suppose the players on both of those, rugby and rugby union, and rugby league and rugby union, is that they do both offensive and defensive. There's, you know, so I suppose with American football, you get to keep your energy for a lot longer, so the tackling can be a bit harder because after that you go off and your defensive players have a break until they have to come back on again, which is not the case with rugby league or rugby union. So physical in that aspect, yes, but as far as the tackling is concerned, I don't know. I've never been tackled by someone who played American football, so I wouldn't know.
And thank goodness these bales have got high vis on, because I found 2 of them in the bushes.
Oh.
That could be misconstrued entirely, but let's leave that there.
But then again, AFL, AFL, Aussie rules is pretty brutal too. There's no doubting that at all.
Yeah, what gets me there is when they go in for a catch and you're basically running up someone's back with your cleats on.
Yeah.
It's like, that's gotta hurt.
Exactly, but so I think it reminds me more of the league and the tackling aspect of things, where you're literally trying to hurt the player as much as you can. But I mean, you're trying to do that anyway, because if you hurt, that's the thing is, because you were taught, well, I don't know if they still do it, but we were taught to lead with your shoulder, the point of your shoulder right into these sort of diaphragm, sternum area, just below the chest when you tackle, because then you wind the person, and if you wind them, then you take energy out of them, and the more tired someone becomes, and obviously they do silly things, they become fatigued, make silly decisions, make mistakes, don't have the energy, you tire them out quicker, and it gives you an advantage.
More likely to drop them on the ground rather than cracking a rib and throwing them out of the match.
Yeah, they do make more money, that's for sure, because you guys have got more money around. It depends on the country too, because a lot of our rugby players, they leave here. Obviously, most of them hang around purely. They don't get paid too well down here because we haven't got the economy for that. They hang around because the dream of becoming an All Black, playing for the New Zealand national rugby team, is huge in this country. Rugby's a religion. It's probably the most important thing in this country, collectively, for the majority of the people. But after that, when they get to a certain stage and think that they won't make it, they'll get moved to France, and in France they get paid really, really well. And Japan as well. I think they'll, because it's big in Japan, they get paid really, really well. And of course it is grown. It was America's biggest growing sport. I don't know if it still is, but a few years back, rugby was the biggest growing sport in America. Of course, when you guys get if it does take off and get the following there, it's also going to be that as well. But I think for the most part, the reason why they get paid so well is because the game's designed around airtime on TV, and that's the reason why. This is what I heard. I can't remember where I heard it from, but that's the reason why you guys have after tackles made and that, and you have a break in that. It's actually so TV stations could run ads. Because you've got the population watching, you've got prime time viewership, so you can charge more for the ads, make money. So, but I mean that's like the same with cricket. I mean all the cricket players.